Newsy news. Newsy news. Newsy news. Newsy news. Newsy news. Good evening, everyone. My name is Onepeg, and in today's video, we're going to talk about item value changes, primarily keys and the values that they've been assigned. Oh, and of course, we also learned something new about BSG today. They love porn stars. But hey, who doesn't? In Tarkov, everything in the game has what's called a base item value. There's a spreadsheet, comma-separated values, really, that you can then transport into a spreadsheet program like Excel or Google Docs. And a lot of the calculators that we had been making in the past that had to do with estimated fees for selling items and where like sweet spots were for selling items on the flea market, all in the earlier days, that all comes from this base item value sheet. Vendors in the game also deal with these base item values either by discounting or by increasing the prices of items at a certain percentage based on whatever those base item values are. The items that have changed are as of the following, and this is courtesy of Logical Solutions on Twitter. The Dorm 314 marked had a base item value of 33,000 and now it's $500,000. Primorsky Skybridge Key had its value shifted down from 43,000 to 5,100. The Radar Station Key went from 43,000 to 260,000, which I'm not really sure why this is a thing at the moment, since 99.9% of the player base still can't get to the island to even deal with the radar station at the moment. The Operating Room Key went from 52,000 to 250,000. Again, another Lighthouse Key, but this one is actually accessible. RBPKPM, which is the marked room in the Underground of Reserve, went from 50,000 to 250,000. And then we have these keys. Primorsky Ave Apartment Key went from 44,000 and changed to 5K. Terra Group Labs keycard, the black keycard, had a base item value of 75,000 and is now $1 million. The green keycard went from 80,000 to $1 million. The red keycard went from 800,000 to 2.6 million. The yellow Labs key went from 45,000 to 900K, and the violet key went from 300,000 to 600,000. And at this point, a lot of you guys are thinking to yourselves, okay, Onepeg, why do I care? Well, the reason why is because of market fees. See, if you list an item that deviates very far away from whatever the base item value that BSG has assigned to that item, if you list it for a lot or little compared to whatever the base item value is, the fee, the astronomically high fee that gets applied by the flea market in those cases, it ends up just deterring you from wanting to do it. That's kind of the idea. So if you have an item that's worth 1,000,000 rubles and try to list it for 5,000, or go the other way and try to list it for 100 million, the fee will be significantly more than what anyone would be willing to spend. In a lot of cases, it's more than whatever it is that you're listing it for. You'd lose money on the transaction. And that was kind of what was happening with some of these higher demand keys. Something like a red key card has had its base item value increased, I think, 3 or 4 times at this point, versus something like a green key card, which had a value of 80,000. People were just putting them up for barter only because we had a higher value demand on whatever people were ever going to sell that for cash. So now by listing it at, or having a base item value of $1 million, we could list it for say 5 million and actually get somewhere around the right value, I guess, for a Green Labs card versus whatever the player base had been putting things up for barter. Hopefully we'll see a little bit less in terms of like, rivals armbands or whatever people are trying to get for them, and we'll actually be able to buy them for cash in the case of that, or like quest keys. There were 2 items though that had their base item values significantly decreased. Something like the Primorsky Ave Apartment Key is a 1 out of 1 use. So I guess if it had a value of 44K, it was still like a single slot valuable loot item that you could then sell to someone like Therapist for some really relatively valuable rubles, because there aren't a lot of items that for a single slot give you 30 or 40,000. So I guess I can see the logic behind that. Overall though, this is a pretty good change. And last, but certainly not least, we have our meme of the day.
Chance of precipitation is 30%. Mostly sunny condition with visibility of 1 kilometer. It's perfectly clear right now. Don't forget to take your sunscreen and the glasses, because with me in rains it will be extra shiny.
So for those of you wondering who that is, her name is Sola Zola. She is an adult entertainer. And for my circle of people that I've followed, the only people that are following her at the moment are Escape from Tarkov, Battlestate Games, and Pornhub. Of which that video was posted to her socials. She posted it on Twitter, and BSG decided to retweet it. Naturally, the responses, mine included, were horny on main. She's great, I guess. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for coming and checking me out. As a reminder, I will be live every day on Twitch starting around 6 to 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have drops enabled at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 6th, going until the January 8th at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 36 straight hours. I will be live the entire time. Please come by and idle, AFK, whatever, and I will farm you for ad revenue as an exchange. I think it works out great. Also, if you would be so kind as to follow me on my socials at OnePegMG on Twitter, at OnePeg on TikTok, and as always, sub the channel here. I would very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for lending me your eyeballs, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.